What is up, all of you awesome and amazing people on YouTube? The old coon here coming at you with one more video. And then I'm going to call this series, we're going to put this one to bed. But what I wanted to focus on in this specific video was the caps. I wanted to talk to you about a fundamental flaw that may happen to you. It's quick. It's a quick and easy fix to adjust. No big deal. Just it takes a second to do, and you can make sure that your water bottles will seal up nice and tight and all the good stuff. So this is our JoyJolt. This was triple insulated, right? Vacuum sealed. This won the temperature challenge, and it also passed the drip test, right? It held the water bottle upside down if you saw in the previous video to this one. This was our second place winner in the cold temp challenge. This is an original hydro flask, purchased from a reputable source, which is why I would like you all to check out the description section down there below for links to these products. Please purchase from a reputable source. Know that you're getting a real deal product as opposed to buying at a discount store and then having to wonder, like this one, if it's real, if it's a Gen 1, what the story is. I'm convinced this one is a knockoff, because if you look at the collar on the real deal and then you look at the collar here, see how much thinner it is? Like, see how thin that little part is right there compared to that one that's kind of thick. So I'm convinced this one's a Gen 1 or it's a knockoff. And anyways, this is our cycle deal. This was our third place temperature winner. This one went 73 hours and still maintained a temperature of like 43 some odd degrees or something ridiculous Fahrenheit. This one went 73 hours, maintained a temperature of like, I think it was around 50, right? 50 degrees or so, something like that Fahrenheit. This one went a full 24 hours and stayed somewhere in that 40 Fahrenheit range. And then after like 48 hours, like 50 hours, 60 hours, that's when the temperature started to rise. But it still did pretty good. Even at 3 days later, this 72 hours or 73 hours later, this one still had a good temperature. And then this was our fourth place winner. This one came up to room temperature pretty fast, like within the first 12 hours. Anyways, let's talk about caps and lids. So here's the JoyJolt, right? This was our sippy cap. This one also comes with like a straw type cap. So you get two. The cycle deal also comes with this straw cap as well. We'll get into that one in a second. But on this specific cap, the sippy cap that comes with these, there's an O-ring in there. See that O-ring that goes right there? Sometimes, occasionally, I noticed this happen to me. Sometimes that O-ring might pop out, or it might invert itself, like it might be half in and half out. What you want to do is every so often, not every day, not every use, but just every so often, just kind of check it and make sure that that O-ring isn't popping out. Or if you decide to wash this and clean it, like if you are going to put, something other than water in here, like you're going to put a sports drink or some kind of like Krampade, products that I've reviewed on this channel. Hello, go back in the video playlist, description section down there below for links. You may want to clean that, but just make sure that your O-ring seats and seals properly the way that it should, like in there, kind of like so. So just make sure. This one, the Hydro Flask one, if you look at the O-ring in there, it's pretty much a part of the cap. So I think you could probably try to pry that sucker out of there, but I think prying it out, you might nick or cut the O-ring, which would obviously, take away from its function and then cause damage, and then it probably won't seal correctly anymore. So just keep that in mind with these. And then the way this thing works is, whoops, had a little extra water there. When you open this up, basically, the valve, there's like the way the angle and the geometry is basically keeps it sealed when this is closed and pressed tight. But if you do have to wash this, just warm soapy water, let it soak for a little bit, and then use like some kind of bristle brush, soft bristle brush, something like this, right? Like that's meant for kitchen use to kind of go in there and clean it out if you have to. But obviously gentle is the key, because the more aggressive you are in trying to clean these O-rings, the more damage you could cause in break an O-ring. Okay, with that being said, let me towel up my counter here because I got some major leakage. Okay. The cycle deal. So cycle deals comes with two caps. This was the cap that we tested with, right? It's a screw-on cap on the top for sippage. Let me go ahead and open that. So there's an O-ring in there. And like I said, just check it once in a while. Make sure there's, that it's in there, that it's seated correctly, that it looks flat and that it's flush and that it's in there. And then you get your second O-ring, which is right here. Like I said, if you're going to clean this, try not to pry it out if you don't have to. But like, just be gentle with it. Gentle, and just let it soak in some warm soapy water, you know, maybe for like 20 or 30 minutes or whatever, just to clean it if you decide to use some kind of sports beverage or whatever. If you're just using regular water, you know, as long as you use them and empty them out regularly, like I wouldn't use it, maybe leave like, you know, a couple ounces of liquid in there and then let it sit for 3 months. You know, probably not the best idea in the world. You're going to get bacteria, you're going to get mold growth in there. So just use it, rinse it, you know, flush it with warm soapy water if you need to. That's that one. And then here's our different cap. I'm still convinced this is like a Gen 1, maybe even a counterfeit. But if it is a counterfeit, damn, that's a pretty good job at counterfeiting. But anyways, here is your seal in there. And as you can see, I've had some stuff in there that I shouldn't have had in there, like some berry stuff, some coffee. I've put a whole bunch of stuff in there. But this one, basically, after our temperature test failed, I probably will not be using this one again for, you know, any long-term cold or warm storage. Anyways, you get the ideas. But there's what your cap looks like, right? So you do want to make sure, see how that's starting to curl down in there? Like, I'm surprised it didn't fail the drip test, but see how that's starting to curl right there at the bottom? That would be a sign to me that it's time maybe to start thinking about replacing that O-ring that's in there, right? Because I don't want this thing to tip over and then start leaking, and then, you know, obviously get my whole backpack soaked or my entire car soaked, you know, or wherever this thing is, taking it to the beach, whatever. So definitely something to think about, and always make sure to wash and clean these. So my recap for this video is, you know, check your O-rings to prevent leakage, but also check your O-rings. You're looking for any kind of like bad bacteria growth, that kind of vibe. This one's due for a good cleaning now. And like I said, there are links down below in the description section to a link to all these products. This is still my number one choice, the JoyJolt. I will definitely continue to buy these for different purposes. Maybe have one as like a designated coffee one is like a designated, you know, sports drink one, you know, Krampade or some kind of electrolyte mix or whatever. And then have one or two that maybe is just water. Maybe one that's only for hot liquids, one that's, you know, only for cold liquids, you know, whatever the case may be. This is always going to be my number two choice, right? At least for now, Hydro Flask, until the next best thing comes along, right? So Hydro Flask, great seller. It's just, there's something better, you know, and this channel is all about trying to find the highest quality products we can find at the lowest possible price. So it's not just price. Like if people are just looking for, hey, I want a $5 water bottle, you know, you could buy one of those. How good is it going to be? How long is it going to last? So what I'm trying to say is spend the money, and spend the money at a reputable source. Make sure you're buying authentic, real deal products. Links are down below in the description. This was the cycle deal. Remember, like we said, this is like your, you know, your typical bicycling, like water bottle, e-bike, whatever. Just make sure you check those O-rings, right? From time to time, just check them for bacteria growth and all that good stuff. Anyways, if you like what you're seeing, go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and comment in the comments section. Make sure to check out the description section for links to all of these cool products. Hit the subscribe button as well. I'm the Old Coot, and I will catch you all on the next exciting video review.